Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Angel's Gates. I am your host, the Fallen Angel. With me today, I have James Phoenix,
What up, people?
I have Marcus Shadow,
So,
and we have Chris the Mole.
Hello.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning it was announced that we are primarily skipping Go Busters in the Sentai to have a Kyoruga adaptation known as Power Rangers Dino Charge for the 2015 season of Power Rangers. Huzzah! Because
Wait, the 21 season?
the 2015 season.
2015, okay. Yeah. I'm going to say, because it's actually the 22nd season if you're keeping track numerically.
Yeah, numerically. I don't really give a shit because I already fucked the season numbering up anyway.
No, the season numbering is still accurate.
So,
It all adds up. Each season of Samurai and each season of Mega Force is its own individual season, and the numbers match up to 20. 21 being Super Mega Force.
alright, so I'm just going to quickly go through what was posted. It was apparently first announced by USA Today. Um, So basically, what they put, Go Go Prehistoric Era. The kid-friendly heroes of Saban's Power Rangers return to the land before time for its 22nd season next year with Power Rangers Dino Charge. The series will air on Nickelodeon in 2015, and Bandai America is slated to create a new dinosaur-themed toy line pegged to its launch. Dinos are a big draw in Japan and will continue the Power Rangers' strong success overseas. Um, According to Bandai CEO Akihiro Sato, and by returning to the Jurassic influence that also gave the world Power Rangers Dino Thunder in 2004. We know fans will find this next season larger than life, said Ellie Deckel, um, president of Saban Brands. In Dino Charge, the Paragon prisms were given to a dozen dinosaurs for safekeeping by an alien, but they were lost when asteroids hit the Earth and wiped out those dinos. Now, in the present day, an intergalactic bounty hunter starts sniffing around Earth looking for the prisms in order to harness their power and annihilate the world. So a team of Power Rangers forms to find the prisms first and fight the bounty hunter and other threats with dino-powered swords, blasters, and zords. In Power Rangers lingo, large fighting machines, and Megazords. No need to wait until next year for a new season of Power Rangers, though. Power Rangers Super Mega Force, the 21st season of the franchise that debuted in 1993. I really think they need to work on that one. Premieres February 15th, noon ET/PT on Nickelodeon. I thought they were releasing it early.
Well, that's when the TV release is. The
Yeah.
the episode, the premiere of Super Mega Force, entitled Super Mega Force, will actually be released. We're recording this Saturday night, February 8th. So tomorrow, February 9th, on Nick.com, the Nick app, and the Xbox app, because fans liked the Super Mega Force image on the Power Rangers Facebook page over 14,000 times as of yesterday. It's probably a lot higher now.
Yeah, and they only wanted 2,100.
Yeah, also for the record, I'll also mention for the record, looking back in the earlier paragraph there, we're talking about, according to Bandai CEO Akihiro Sato, and by returning to the Jurassic influence, I would like to say to Brian Truitt at USA Today, you fail journalism, you do not start a sentence with a preposition.
Hmm. Alright, so we might as well, first of all, discuss what we think of the season that we have been given. So I'll go first, because I can. Um, it sounds really interesting, and it really sounds like they are including Go Busters. Somehow, somewhere, some way, Go Busters will be a part of this season.
Yeah, yes, it has been confirmed by Fury Diamond of Ranger Crew and Samurai Cast via his sources that Go Busters will be incorporated into this season in some manner. How much we don't know. Although I believe, Karama, you had a theory regarding something mentioned in the press release could tie to Go Busters.
Yeah. Well, the Paragon prisms, it says there's a dozen of them, so it could either mean that the tier amulets in Kyoruga, but I doubt it. I'm gonna say that they are. I believe there's 13 in Go Busters, but they may change it up, of course. The Paragon Prisms are the Messiah cards that we use to bring back Messiah in the Go Buster season. So who knows? I'd love to see how they're going to go about combining Go Busters and Kyoruga. And on another note, the Intergalactic Bounty Hunter. I want it to be Basco if they do not use him in Super Mega Force.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. So yeah, overall it's looking really good. So I'm happy with it. Who's next?
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with them incorporating Go Busters into it. If they're going to go this route, I would have almost preferred if they had saved it and used it as the next season, reverse the seasons around, and I'd be okay with that. From what I understand, according to the other people in this conversation, apparently Toei didn't like Go Busters for some reason. Perhaps because it completely tanked in Japan or something.
Yeah, the ratings sucked, therefore they didn't like it.
Which is fair enough, but to me that doesn't mean it would fail over here. Also, if it would to be brought over here, you could look in the history of Power Rangers. Yeah, it'll be adapted, but it's not going to be the same. And you see what happens when Power Rangers tries to stay the same. Cough, samurai, cough.
But I thought I thought they were exactly the same. Because that's at least what the Sentai elitists always say about every little change.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, honestly, there's some things you need to adapt without making it exactly the same. The thing though is, the concept of Go Busters could very easily be adapted to a Western audience because it's about a team of spies. Come on, you don't get much more Western than like fucking special ops spies. Seriously.
I will also say, since we're all discussing it, I will also say what I mentioned to the Fallen Angel before.
What's that?
Do you realize essentially what this means with the description?
What?
They gave their powers to these dinosaurs, whatever they were. Then they were wiped out and their powers were essentially made void by the meteors hitting the Earth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't those the Dino Thunder powers? Based on what Tommy said in Dino Thunder, if they came from the same asteroids. Thus, the Dino Thunder powers are more powerful.
Possibly.
They must be if they wiped out these powers.
I want to argue.
I'm guessing one big reason they probably want to do Kyoryuger first, or if not, just outright skip Go Busters. I don't know why Saban would want to skip Go Busters, but I could see why they'd want to do Kyoryuger first, and that is because the movie, I don't think it's out yet, but it's going to be out pretty soon if it's not out yet. The Kyoryuger, it's effectively a Kyoryuger v Go Busters movie, but it's basically Kyoryuger, Zyuranger, and Aba Ranger teaming up. There's a really awesome picture of the three Tyrannosauruses together, which is like
for those that are not Sentai literate, that would be Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, and the new season.
I was getting to that. I was gonna say Saban probably wants to take advantage of that to bring back, because they could bring back the Dino Thunder team pretty easily. They're not that old, but the Mighty Morphin team, that'd be harder to get back, and they probably want to get them back while they can still, as Adam would put it, and Tommy would put it, as long as they can still pull it off. Which, if they had to wait until when the Kyoryuger season would actually fall in Power Rangers, yeah, they may not be able to pull it off, or they might not even be available then. And if they're available now, fuck it, do it now, which I can kind of agree with, because I would want to see the Morphin team come back in some way, shape, or form.
See, it would be cool, but in all honesty, if you see them even at recent conventions, okay, number one, obviously Tommy can still do it, and he'll be able to still do it for like 20 more years. Walter Jones is in great shape. Kat Sutherland is still hot. She's fine.
She's always fine.
She's always been fine. Amy Jo Johnson, despite having a baby, Amy Jo Johnson's still pretty hot.
I didn't say they weren't in good shape, I said can still pull it off. There's a difference.
Yeah, I would
Well,
say.
you didn't define your terms, so not
yeah.
my problem.
I would say as well the same thing I mentioned to the Fallen Angel. I kind of want them to do what they did with Dino Thunder with this, and let's bring back one of the previous dinosaur people as a mentor, which means it can either be Jason, Kimberly, Zach, Billy, or we can't really do Trini unfortunately, or Tommy again, or B, it could be Tommy or Ethan or Finky, Kira and Connor and Trent. I don't as much. I prefer, as everyone knows, Rocky and Adam and stuff to Zach and Jason.
Yeah.
No, I didn't prefer Aisha to Trini. Like I said, I like them almost equally. But
fair
I
enough.
was saying I preferred Rocky to Jason and I preferred Adam to Zach. But it's a case of Adam and Rocky didn't use the dinosaur powers; they used the thunder powers, which I wouldn't feel right about them using the dinosaur powers now.
If it were up to me, I would. If I were Haim Saban or Eli Dackel, depending, I would get David Yost on the phone, and I would be on my knees apologizing out my ass and begging him to come back and be the mentor for this season.
I've seen your videos on here. Most of your stuff's out your ass.
Ha!
Woo!
But
But no, what do you think, Marcus, about bringing back someone like they did with Dino Thunder? Because I think that's one of the things that established it as a dinosaur with the dinosaur
could
thing.
work. That could work, but if they plan to, as I suspect, use the movie stuff, they will have to secure the other two Red Rangers. You have to have them because that's looks like it's going to be the focus of the thing, especially like I said with that image of the 3 Tyrannosauruses. So they're going to have to get either Rocky or Jason, preferably Jason. But
well, I got to be perfectly honest. Number one, given the fact that last time we saw Austin St. John, he was really fat and out of shape, and the fact that Steve Cardenas has been screwed several anniversaries in a row or several major comebacks in a row, I think getting Steve Cardenas to do it would be fucking awesome.
Personally, if they can't, as much as I prefer Rocky. If they can't get Jason, I say keep the guy morphed and just use a voice actor to say he's Jason. As horrible as that worked out in SPD with the crossover when they did that with Tommy, fuck it. If they can't get, it needs to be Jason as the Mighty Morphin Red for that one particular one. It needs to be Jason.
Okay. Well, I said if they had to keep morphing, if they can at least find Austin St. John, even if he is out of shape, he could still do Jason's voiceover even if he's not in the suit. So because it's gonna be a stunt guy in the suit anyways. Just keep morphed, have Jason voice it over really good. You saw Austin St. John.
Well, yeah, that's how every series is done. I was on about the fact it was a case of if they can't find Jason, get someone else to voice Jason.
Right, gotcha.
Because all Power Ranger series is then doing voice work over the top of those guys in the suit because it's Japanese footage.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
Although it'll be really weird if they couldn't get Austin St. John back. And I really do hope they do get him back if they do that. If only because, I guess it's going to make me sound like a Sentai elitist, but if only because in the Sentai movie, the big deal about that is it's the return of Geki, the Tyranno Ranger. Like, they actually got him to come back and reprise the role. Which is like fucking huge in the fandom.
But didn't you just say at the start they're different?
Dun, dun, dun.
Green Giant. There you go, Ted.
I know, but
I'd
like to mirror that just with Jason. Also because we haven't seen Jason in a while. It's like we've seen Tommy all over the place. We've seen Adam a few times. Bring Jason back.
Oh, I see. I agree. Like I mentioned to the Fallen Angel, as Tommy's my favorite, and don't get me wrong. If they put him as the mentor again, I'm not exactly going to say, no, what have you done? However, I want to see someone else.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jim. I think Billy should be the mentor. I think that'd be awesome. It'd be a great way to redeem not only the character, but the actor.
I'd kind of like Trent.
That would be badass also.
I'd like Trent with his dad.
Yeah, with Anton Morse, that'd be cool. Laugh of Gaines will do it. He loves working on the show.
Yeah, I think that could be cool. So, Mighty Morphin passed the torch to Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder passes the torch to this one. That'd be kind of cool.
That wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah. And the reason I could see them going with the Kyoto season specifically for this is to follow up the anniversary season, to ride the popularity and the waves of nostalgia with the anniversary.
And
Make this like almost an extension of the anniversary.
And also, it should be noted for if you're still here, Fallen Angel. I believe you are. Wasn't it noted, Fallen Angel, that last time when Mighty Morphin came out, one of the reasons they thought it got so popular was because of Jurassic Park, and now Jurassic World's coming out right when they're doing another dinosaur series.
Yeah, someone did mention that. I can't remember who it was exactly, but I noticed that. Yeah, they're bringing it out to coincide with Jurassic World to get that boost of popularity.
So then that's a big risk because what if Jurassic World turns out to be another Lost World?
True.
Yeah,
I
it
was gonna
still work because of the nostalgic that Marcus mentioned.
So we'll go to Mole. What are Mole's thoughts on the synopsis of our season?
Like I said, I like the synopsis, and the idea of that bounty hunter and the space and stuff sounds really cool. My only downside to it is with them tying it to the prehistoric times. I don't really know how the Kyuuja stuff worked. All I knew is it was batteries they put into guns, and I'm like, that's technology's not even the Flintstones had. I don't see that being around with dinosaurs. However, it could. I don't know if they just harness something or whatever, but that could be cool. However, looking at them, I don't like the suits. Like I mentioned to you, I don't like the suits with the beauty pageant sash going down the side of them. Like, oh, Miss Ranger going down the side. Obviously, it doesn't say that, but that's what I'm expecting.
Well, what it is that what that's actually representing is that's supposed to be the teeth because the suit is supposed to be a mouth of their dinosaur biting down.
I'm aware. It just looks like a sash.
Yeah, and it also showed the difference between an active ranger and a dead ranger. Because in the show they had, all three of them were spirit rangers technically, so their sash was grey or greyish compared to the normal yellow.
I believe the difference between a living ranger and a dead ranger is a living ranger used to be the villain in the previous season, and the dead one's the one she replaced.
Ouch.
That's not an ouch. That was a Kendrick's reference.
That's an accurate Lost Galaxy reference. That's not bad. When I
So Jim, what do
that was
you
good.
think of the synopsis?
I think it sounds fucking awesome. I read the synopsis. First I heard the name, like, okay, so the logo looks badass. You should put that up, by the way, as the visual
I
for
haven't
this
actually
podcast.
seen this thing. Let me look at this thing while you
And
talk.
yeah, there's a, I'll put the tiff too. And Marcus, there's the link to the thread. Anyway, I think it sounds awesome. The description sounds cool. I like the premise. I again like how they're going with an original premise rather than trying to directly adapt the Sentai. I think that's a good way to go because I think their more successful seasons have been the ones that tended to deviate a little more. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm hoping if they're gonna not only have this going, but they're also gonna try to work in the Go Busters. I'm really hoping that maybe they get a higher episode count and they're not restricted to the 22.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Speaking of
I'm not gonna hold my breath for that, but I'm gonna hope.
Yeah, speaking of episode counts, what do you guys want for an episode count? I know on Twitter last night when it was revealed, I believe it was Lavender Ranger or Burgundy Ranger. One of them mentioned they wanted 34 episodes in a year compared to 40 over 2 years.
My opinion with that, like I mentioned that earlier to you, but my opinion on that was I want them to stick with around between 24 and 26 episodes a year. I know that's the unpopular opinion with a load of Power Ranger fans, but I like the idea behind it because technically speaking, if Saban used it right, which he's not used it right yet, but that doesn't mean it can't be used right. Instead of spending 1 year making an entire season out of 40-something episodes, you can actually go and make 1 year for half of it, 1 year for the next, which means it should have twice the amount of effort put behind it, twice the amount of work and stuff, which means it should be twice as better. So if they did it right, halving them is a stroke of genius. They just need to utilize that, potential more than what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was thinking, intergalactic bounty hunter. What is this bounty hunter supposed to be bounty hunting?
The prisms.
The most dangerous sport of all. Man.
And do we know yet how often this said bounty hunter is going to appear in this series?
No, it just says, now in the present day, an intergalactic bounty hunter starts sniffing around Earth looking for the prisms in order to harness their power and annihilate the world. So the bounty hunter is the main villain, whoever the hell he is.
I believe
Yeah.
the bounty hunter will appear for exactly 13 episodes.
But I'm
It was supposed to be the villain. That wouldn't work. Because I was thinking they could use this as basically a backdoor for Power Riders and just make the bounty hunter a common rider.
That'd be interesting.
That would work too. The other thing that was worth mentioning as well with this is, and like I mentioned to the Fallen Angel, I excused it to at least, well, technically 4, but I'm just going to call them 2 before anyone gets technical, Jim. For the last 2 years, or the last 2 seasons of Samurai and Megaforce, we've had Go-Go Power Rangers. I understand it with Samurai because, oh yay, Saban's got the license back. He wants to reference old school. Yay, Go-Go Power Rangers, cool. Anniversary, yay, Go-Go Power Rangers. There's no excuse to do that again for the 3rd year. And I don't care if it's because it's got dinosaurs back. I want something different to Go-Go Power Rangers. Hell, I believe, unless we haven't got there yet, I can't remember if we recorded this yet or not, but when we go to do the awards for the 20 years for Jim's show, I've given greatest theme song to the Dino Thunder one. And that was an awesome song. The Dino Thunder song was an awesome song. And it didn't rehash the crap that was the Mighty Morphin theme. Because let's face it, the Mighty Morphin theme, it's kind of iconic, kind of crap. I don't want to keep hearing Go-Go Power Rangers, Dino Charge Power Rangers. No, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I agree. They need to have some originality with the theme song because, yeah, no, I didn't even agree with it. I maybe half agreed with it with Samurai because I was like, okay, it's kind of cool, but I did not agree with it with Megaforce at all. Although I think the Megaforce version is better than the Samurai version, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, the other thing I had a problem with the theme songs with the 2 previous ones, just to get into that slightly, was like I mentioned to the Fallen Angel, I did not like the fact it was still Go-Go Power Rangers Samurai one for Super Samurai. I thought Super should have been in the song, or at least rehashed, if they're going to rehash stuff, rehash Zeo, like I mentioned to the Fallen Angel, because you could have quite easily have gone Stronger than Before, Super Samurai. That would have so fucking worked just for the opening and then done the Go-Go Samurai. No, there's no mentioning of the Super, which that kind of annoys me. Include the Super in the song for the second one. For Super
Yeah, if you're
Dino
going to go
Charge.
out of your way to have a theme song with the title of your show in it, make it the title of the show.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's get to the end of this. And what do you want to see come from this season?
I'll let one of them go first. I went first last time.
I don't know. Honestly, I'd like to see them get rid of the Go Busters altogether from the season and just make it its own season, but maybe I'm in the minority with that one. I don't know. I want to see a Green Ranger that I can believe is supposed to be that character. Cough, Noah, cough. Because I'm sorry, I've seen most of Megaforce, and when they said, yeah, it's just going to translate straight into the Gokaiger stuff, I'm like, no, just no. I mean, maybe I can believe Noah being a master swordsman more than I can believe Jake being a goofy guy that suddenly forgot how to fight. But yeah, no. And so I'm hoping, because I have seen some of Kyoryuger and I know pretty much the core Rangers, like how they fight and stuff. Yeah, the Green Ranger better be a badass or I'm going to be disappointed.
I don't know. I'd like to see them really. I'd like to see them go a little more toward character development, because I think that's something that, unfortunately, because of they're trying to get through all the plot elements and because of the lower episode count, that's really been lacking a little bit. We've gotten a little development here and there. We got Troy and his mysterious background with the Ranger War, the friendship between Gia and Emily, Emma rather. And, some of these different things, little character development. Okay, here's a Noah, a little bit techie guy, Jake with the soccer. I think the character development has been a lot stronger in a lot of other seasons, and a lot of that's because there's enough episodes in order to keep doing that. But I think they could focus a little more on a few Ranger-centric episodes that, really help develop the character of an individual Ranger and really get that across. I think that would be beneficial, especially if you're going to go back to the Dino theme and kind of have that other, that coming back to the classic thing going on there. I think it's something really beneficial to work toward. And if they have a few more episodes, I think that would work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they want to evoke the nostalgia of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they should have no character development.
They had amazing characters.
Jim just cut out.
You
Wow,
said-
this call's all full of bugs.
I believe he said they had amazing character development. In which case, I would say over
maybe-
over 3 seasons of 40.
Yeah.
What I said was even in the first season with 60 episodes, you got these episodes that were specific toward specific Rangers that you learned a little bit more about their personalities and who they were. You had episodes about Billy where you learned about, okay, this is, why he's a detective, this, that, and the other thing, how his approach to the world, how he sees, not being the popular kid, stuff like that. You had episodes about Trini where you got to learn, about her, her inner focus, her she was afraid of height. She had that doll collection with that creepy tinkle sneezer guy. You learn, Jason had stress of being the leader of the team, coming around that. You learned, Kimberly. You had the episodes where her parents showed up, stuff like that. Even in that first 60 episodes, because they had so many, they could do a lot of Ranger-centric episodes. It really gave the Rangers a lot of development, and you felt like you really knew them. It worked. And unfortunately, because we're now down to literally about a third of what that season had, it's much, much harder to do.
I would argue in the first season of Mighty Morphin, they had no character development, pretty much.
Yep.
Because
I
every time you find out stuff like you mentioned, like Trini's fear of heights, you only learnt that in that episode in which she conquered it. It was never mentioned before. They weren't brought up constantly, which means there was nothing to actually develop. It was forced development of, oh, look, they've got over their fear for this episode, never discuss it again. Which means if you remove that episode, you can't tell the difference between the two characters.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's
Yeah,
really
the characters
forced.
hasn't changed because there's nothing
Yeah.
to change.
Now,
But they
character
did develop
development. Shh, Jim. Shh. Character development would be like Wes. Wes went through character development from the beginning of Time Force to the end. From the beginning of Mighty Morphin season 1 to the end, the characters didn't change.
I didn't say they changed, but we learned about them. Is the characters are developed in terms
That's not
of
Development.
personalities.
That's putting shit in just for the sake of the episode. Development is something that permeates throughout the entire episode. I point you to Relic Hunters. That entire story was all pure character development. There was stuff that permeated throughout the entire series. Same with Corsair, all our TPIY stuff. Those were character development pieces, whereas actual Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not so much.
Yeah,
As
it's,
Mo pointed out, it was
maybe
just for the
development-
point of an episode.
All right, maybe development was the wrong word. I'll give you that, but you know what I mean. Like even in episodes like the Island of Illusion, where they had to conquer their fears, you learned about these characters, you got to know them, and that's really what's lacking is these characters. Okay, we're getting to know them a little bit, and hopefully in Super Mega Force to continue that trend, we get to know them more. Because I sort of feel like I've gotten to know this team more than I got to know the Samurai team, and I think it's a matter of the fans need to be able to connect and know the team. Because if they don't, then it's harder to care about the fate of the team and what it is that they're doing. You have to care about those characters in order to care about the season. I think that's something they really they can work on. It's helping to not necessarily change the characters, but just develop them to the point that we know a little bit more about who they are and we care about them and we want to see them succeed.
yeah, I was saying technically they've all done that. It's like Samurai. We had the whole stuff with Kevin and his swim team and stuff, which is equal to what they did in Mighty Morphin. It was just a case of it was written worse. That was the difference between the two. Which, for Megaforce, like I said, I'd like some more nostalgia brought back, like having an older mentor, like having an older Ranger as a mentor, like they did in Dino Thunder. But at the same time, I don't want the over-the-top forced nostalgia like they've been doing in the last couple of years, like bringing in Bulk just for the sake of having Bulk in the background, doing fuck all with fucking Spike, or the fuck his name was.
Yeah,
Or
they fucked
using-
over his character.
Yeah, or doing the Go-Go Power Rangers theme. I don't want that forced stuff. I want it to be written well, like say like I mentioned, like Dino Thunder had nostalgia, but it was written fucking awesomely. They need to go that route. I was going to say go back to that route, but that was Disney, not Saban, which I hate to say it, but Disney did Power Rangers better. But still, it's a case of hopefully Saban can make it a more quality show.
Yeah. I think both sides had good seasons and bad seasons, so it's debatable.
I think Saban, back in his heyday when he was good, did Power Rangers better. The problem is he's lacking any kind of creativity at the moment, and he's all like, let's rehash what worked before. It's like, no, this isn't the 90s. hire a writer on your staff that has creativity and give them the freedom to actually use it.
This isn't the 90s. If I walk into a toy shop right now, there's Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and coming soon a brand new Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. Jesus,
Yeah.
I thought this was the 90s. Jesus Christ, how long have I been asleep?
10 years.
Yeah, I mean the top handheld games are Pokemon games. There's new Mario games coming out. Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart came out. Mario World game.
New Mario Kart hasn't come out yet. It comes out at the
Well,
end of the year.
it's forthcoming. It's been announced.
Yeah, it's been announced.
So,
Yeah.
But no, that like I said, that was just my final thoughts with that. Hopefully, Saban can actually put effort in, because I've noticed. I mean, I love Megaforce compared to some of the other seasons. Megaforce was a good starting point. I think he needs to take what he did to make Megaforce a success in terms of how well he's done it, and build upon it so he can get back to like I mentioned, like the Time Force era or something like that. He needs to go back to that style quality and not like what we've been getting from him, which is how shitty he wrote back in the day during like Alien Rangers and Turbo and all that crap.
I think Super Mega Force will be a good sign of whether Saban gives a shit and whether he's getting back into form, or whether he's like, yeah, I don't care.
alright, well, what I want to see, because that's all that's important around here, I want to see all 11 Kyorugas in this season. I don't give a shit how they do it. I want to see all 11 of them. That's all I want to see. All 11. Does anyone have any final comments they would like to make before this ends?
I will say, just like we have on the board, on the Ranger Vision board, the Corrupt the Wish. Wish granted, Kage. You will now get all 11 Rangers. However, they will all be played by people like Jaden.
You will be shot. Any final thoughts, Jim?
I'm looking forward to the season, and I'm assuming, given that it's currently February, that come August at Power Morphicon we'll at least get a trailer, so we'll get an idea of what's going on, and we can plan from there. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's great, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Marcus.
I look forward to seeing it. Like I said before, I don't agree with the Go Buster thing, but I do look forward to seeing it and see what they do with it. And hopefully they won't disappoint.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be a very good season. Whether they can keep who gets cast under wraps until Morphicon will be interesting, because apparently they're supposed to start auditioning in a couple of weeks, according to Fury Diamond. So we'll see how that goes.
Also, I do hope they get rid of the morphing sequence, because I don't think a dancing morph would work for a Western audience. I think they'd be laughed off the air.
But it'd be fucking hilarious, and it's for little kids. Why not?
Cha
No.
cha la 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 la.
Oh God, no.
Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting episode of the Angels Gates. I would like to thank Marcus Shadow, James Phoenix, and Chris the Mole for being here today. I am your
My
host.
pleasure.
I am your host, the Fallen Angel. Good night.